All eyes on Doge. Big run up. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Up. Movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Monday. How's everybody doing? We're right where we were this morning. Nothing's changed. So we're in a holding pattern. Waiting. What are we waiting for? I'll show you. We'll talk about it again. Kriss has his purple boxes still. That's how I'm tracking what's going on. We'll run through a bunch of cryptos and show you nothing pretty much has changed. We got a Trump token, little pump on the Trump token. Don't know why. No reason whatsoever that I could see. We have some ETFs that look like they're going to try and launch, but not Doges, HBAR and Solana. We'll see whether that actually happens or not. Maybe tomorrow. Looks like the exchanges are getting ready. Looks like this Canary Group is just going to push through these ETFs and just try and get them launched without the SEC. I don't know how that works, but maybe Dogecoins can follow. Maybe, possibly. Yeah. So there are always things to talk about, so we will cover that. And let me just drop down here into the corner and let's get going. And then I'll check in with all of you in the chat. I start here out on the daily. I will zoom in just a minute. Here, but this is where we are. We've been trending sideways since October 10th. But this price, again, goes all the way back to August when we were at the same place. We were at exactly the same price here, just kind of bouncing around before moving up over 22 cents. So here we are again, just kind of in a holding pattern. So what's going on? Well, Bitcoin holds, right? Also holding 115,000, holding pattern, right? Fed rate cut hopes boost the sentiment for ETH, XRP, Doge. A lot of posts about the old altcoins, right? Are we going to have an altcoin season, right? And maybe Wednesday, we're going to see some volatility and a little action. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Gappy, the article says Bitcoin holds 115, but yeah, we'll check the latest price, which of course, not so much. Not so much. This was printed 45 minutes ago. It doesn't take long, right? Doesn't take long. Wednesday, FOMC, Fed is going to have their meeting. Again, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, is not part of the government, right? It's independent. So they're still working. And there's going to be an FOMC. So Wednesday, we will see, expecting a 25 basis point rate cut. Some are saying, well, maybe because of the jobs reports and such, maybe they won't cut. But there are still some that say, hey, maybe it should be a 50 basis point rate cut. But the betting markets are all like, no, 25. So that's what we expect. But that will be Wednesday. And then just remember, we only have like 6 more months of this guy, of Chirpow. Because next April, his contract runs out and a new Fed chair will take over, appointed by the President of the United States. So Trump is probably going to be installing basically a pro-Trump chair who's going to do whatever Trump wants him to do. Again, FOMC is a group of 12, though, that vote. and they're a rotating group. So the chair doesn't really have the final say, can help dictate policy, but in the end, ugh. So that's coming Wednesday. Meanwhile, what's going to happen? What is going to happen on Wednesday? So Killa XBT believes that there's going to be a little run on Monday night, maybe over 116, and then drop down to about 113s on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, there will be the FOMC sweep, which means in the volatility, maybe Bitcoin hits 117 to take out leveraged shorts before filling the CME gap below. And here we go again, the CME gap. What is the CME gap? Well, I can show you what the CME gap is, as we have looked on this chart before. This is the futures trading chart, and we have a gap right here. The gap is in futures trading. Essentially, futures trading stops on Friday evening and it doesn't start up again until Monday morning. So any change in the price of Bitcoin between Friday evening and Monday morning is a gap. It's a gap. And as Killa XBT says, the CME gap will get filled whether people like it or not. In the past 4 months, we have filled 100% of weekend gaps in less than 2 weeks. So this is his chart. Again, he thinks Bitcoin's going to come up tonight, drop on Tuesday. We'll have volatility on Wednesday. Price will come up 117, sweep out the shorts, and then dive down and close the gap after Wednesday's sweep. That could happen. That could happen. But I remind you that yes, the last four CME gaps were eventually filled. The last one that we had here before the current one was back on the 29th of September, and it didn't actually get filled for 2.5 weeks. Until the 14th, 15th of October, it eventually filled. Yeah, the gap. Be careful of the gap, Ryan. Be careful of the gap. You have to mind the gap. Mind the gap. If you're going to learn your British, right? You have to mind the gap. So 1, 2, 3, 4. However, before that fourth one, we had another one right here. We had another one at 103. You know what? That one didn't fill. On the big flash crash, we got it partially filled, or right at the bottom of the incoming gap, but not at the bottom, or not the end of the previous. So there's still a little one here at 103, but then you zoom out a little more, and here's the big one right there. $93 down to $92,000. That one right there, it never filled. Never filled. So all these people, CME gaps, gotta fill, no, they don't. They don't. This one is still open, not filled. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy following Dogecoin, but I just look at the charts and I see these things and I'm like, well, there's one that didn't fill. So that doesn't mean we have to come all the way down to 111 and fill this gap. But these guys who think they know what they're doing says, yep, that gap needs to be filled whether people like it or not. So there's a little bearish stuff out there, right? Just, yeah, I ain't got time for, exactly, Aussie. I ain't got time for this, CME. Let's just go up. What do you got to go back down for? I agree. Ain't got time for that. In other news, Bitcoin did actually turn green for the month of October. Dogecoin is still red for the month of October, but Bitcoin just flipped to green for the month of October. So bullish? As Sweep says, it was Uptober after all. Now, we still got 4 days. We still got 4 days to go. But that's at least positive for Bitcoin, up less than 1% for the month of October. They've never had a green October for less than 10%. Oh, no, there was one, a 5% one right there. 2022 had a 5% green October. This is less than 1% right now. Kind of weak, but it's better than Dogecoin. Bitcoin has done better than Doge this month so far. So Bitcoin has successfully turned long-term resistance into solid support. Each breakout from this structure in previous cycles marked a new price discovery phase. The current projection points toward the $190,000 region if momentum continues. So again, the whole structure of the Bitcoin chart, when you zoom out, does still look bullish. Bitcoin has been chopping around for a good part of this year. Could we see a big move up in November, December? Interesting. ETH also has a setup very similar to 2020, actually, where ETH started to go on a run, pulled back, and then went higher, started to go on a run, pulled back, and here we are. Exactly where it was in 2020 before a big run on ETH. So, interesting chart setup on ETH. Meanwhile, the Trump meme coin, yes, the Trump meme coin that we go to, has pumped a bit today, up 18%. Up 18%. It was actually up a little more. It hit $8 and then it got rejected at $8. Now down to $7.40, and more red candles are coming. I believe this thing is now getting shorted down. It did come out of the purple box, though. We did have a purple box for the Trump token, and it did break out of the purple box, but is settling back right now. So I don't think this thing's going to continue up. Meanwhile, Dogecoin is in the purple box. Bitcoin is in the purple box. ETH never really got out of the purple box. Algorand, Solana, Cardano, Hedera, Sheeb, Litecoin, VeChain, XRP started to tick out. We saw this yesterday, right? Started to come out and now is coming right back into the box. What's going to get us out of the box? Well, government shutdown. It'd be nice if that ended. It would be nice. I think we'll have a little volatility on Wednesday. Wednesday, right? Planning on seeing all of these prices maybe jump out of the box, and then Wednesday night into Thursday morning to jump right back in. On Thursday, Trump is supposed to meet with Xi Jinping of China, talk about the U.S. trade deal, U.S.-China war, trade war over. Is it going to be a deal? I mean, yesterday there was a advanced team from each country that was talking. But the government shutdown, I mean, November 1st, right? You're going to have a whole bunch of people in the United States who aren't going to get their free meals, right? The SNAP, they're not going to get their money. They're not going to get their money. They're not going to be happy. And whose fault is it? Right? Finger pointing both ways, whatever. It's just not a good situation. Not a good situation. But what about Doge? What about Doge? Doge dropped in the 20-cent range. Here we are with Dogecoin, 20.25, exactly where we were this morning, exactly where we were on Sunday afternoon. If you were here during the last live stream, we're at the same place. We're just going sideways here. Doge declines, testing short-term support at 20 cents on Monday. The SOPR metric drops below $1. I'll show you that in just a second. And we have futures open interest is low. Some of us are like, good, keep it low, because those are the big leverage trades that the market makers hunt and go after. So let's keep it low, right? So concerns over the macroeconomic uncertainty stemming from the trade standoff between the United States and China persist amid a subtle uptick in inflation. Bad jobs report. Boy, if they don't lower interest rates on Wednesday and they keep it steady, that's not going to be good for the markets. They're not going to like that. And Doge showing weakness, low demand. There's not much profit taking. There's a little bit of selling going on, not much. And a little bit of buying, but not much. It's the trading volume, as I pointed out on X. If you saw my X post this morning, trading volume is just low. I looked at the last week and a half of trading volume, and it's anywhere between 1 billion and 2 billion. Just a little ticks over, a little bit over 2, but that's it. We need to be up at 9 and 10 billion to make any kind of move for Dogecoin trading volume. This is just weak. Like I said, no volume. There's no volume down here at the bottom. No volume. There's nothing moving. Everybody's in wait and see mode. Wait and see mode. So open interest, interestingly enough, was pretty high for Dogecoin back in September. And then on October 10th, thunk, it all got taken out, right? Because most of this was leveraged long trades. And it almost all got taken out on October 10th. And not much has come back yet. It's still really low. Not anywhere near where the leverage trading was back in September. Partially because most got wiped out and they're not going back. Now, some of the bigger traders will probably come back, but right now they're mainly doing Bitcoin and ETH and not Doge yet. So the open interest or the leverage trading on Doge is pretty low there. And then what is this SOPR? The SOPR is the spent output profit ratio. Stupid name. It's like, ooh, basically it's just showing when people sell, right? When people sell, are they selling for a profit or a loss? So from February all the way until July, if anybody sold their Dogecoin, they were selling for a loss. Particularly in April, when Dogecoin went down to 13 cents, there was a lot of people bailing out of Doge thinking it was going to go lower, and they sold for a loss. We did have this SOPR ratio come back over 1 in July, and then again in September, which is why there was a lot of leverage trading, right? Price was coming up. People were enthusiastic about Doge. And then we're now back below this 1 level, meaning all the sales of Doge right now, more of them are in losses than in profits. Although the amount of sales is pretty low because there's no volume. There's no volume. So that's what that is. It's a big wait and see mode. Sir Doge of the Coin says, yeah, it gets better, right? It gets better. Just hold on. It gets better. And of course, MyDoge just says, hey, remember, always 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. And that's it. That's it. Got the pinger on, but there's not a lot of movement going on. There's not much going on. as we continue to drift sideways in our purple box. So that's what I have for today. See ya. No. How you guys doing? We are at historical open interest lows. Exactly, Manel. And they're not coming in right now because no one knows what's happening with this market. This is 2.5 weeks of sideways trading across the board. Just about every crypto, 2 weeks sideways. That's why I made this. I could tell early on, and you guys are tired of seeing my stupid purple box, but I could see that was happening after like 1 week, and I drew this box, and then I've just added it to all these other alts too to show like everything is just within this range in a purple box. It's just all there. So nothing's moving. Even XRP tried to climb out and nope, coming right back into the box. That's just the way it is. It's just, this isn't exciting. This isn't fun, but it's not a bear market. It's also not a bull market. This is crab market, right? Just going sideways. Now that you could say, oh, look, there's a trend line. Look at Dogecoin. It's going up. Trend line. Up trend line. Yeah. And that's what Trader Allen did, right? He took this and he essentially just squeezed this really, really tight, right? And then made it vertical, right? He pulls it up vertical. And you see that. And you're like, oh, look at Dogecoin. Look at Dogecoin. It's going on a big run, right? Look at that. Dogecoin going on a run higher and higher, right? You look at that and you go, oh, that's a great looking chart, right? Great looking chart. Look at that. Dogecoin on a big run. Well, except when you zoom out and you show it for reals, right? No. It is just sideways. So that's what it is. Bullish divergence. You can look at the RSI and it doesn't matter. It's sideways. Pro, any kind of movement is up to you. I don't know what peak is doing. It's probably going sideways too, right? Haven't looked at peak for a while. Yep. Also, let's see. I didn't make a box for peak, but I'm guessing that is within 16%. Let's see. Oh, that's 30%. Peak has been more volatile, but still it is sideways. You know, Pro, if peak makes a big run for some reason and everything else is sitting still, right? Comes out of the box like Trump did today, that's when you would do something like that. Like if you held Trump token, you were wanting to get out of the Trump token, this morning would have been a good time to do it. As Trump hit 8 cents or $8 this morning. So you look for those kinds of moves because everything else is just flat. Handy Dan, how are you? You have till Halloween, my birthday, to get me to 36 cents. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we would need the trifecta. Interest rate cut, U.S.-China trade deal, and U.S. government shutdown ends. Can we get those three things? Can we get those three by Thursday? And then Friday, we have a glorious Halloween trading day. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm not expecting that. Dogecoin will never be $100 per coin, Master. No. Too many Dogecoins out there. Too many Dogecoins. Dogecoin chart silence before the storm. Feels like all the institutions are waiting to buy. I agree with that, Christian. Wake me up when October ends. When, Bump? When? William says, just keep it zoomed in. It looks better. Can't you just keep it zoomed in? Can we just do that? The chart does look good when you zoom in, doesn't it? No, I keep things real here. You know me. It is a crab market. It's just a crab market. Hey, Matt, I have so much to learn on the whole crypto thing. I thought our last big leg up was last November. I thought all cycles had 3 legs. I know. We're waiting. This one is just not over yet. We're not over yet. But that's what we've seen in the past. This one's getting messed up. So it's not a given, but yeah. Hey, Adam. Yep. Happy 20 cents sideways on a Monday. Be patient. DB, we don't mind checking out your box, Kriss. The Tuesday dump. I know, Con, right? That's what Killa XBT saying. Tuesday dump down into the 113s. And then we do a big sweep up on Wednesday for FOMC before dropping back down on Thursday to fill the gap. I don't know. I don't know about that. It could play out that way. That could happen. Just Bike Life. XRP is doing the same thing. It just is what it is. With a little sprinkle of Elon Musk on top. Now, if that happens, that's the wild card, as I've been saying. I call that the wild card. If we get any hint that X Money is launching on X Twitter, that changes the game for Dogecoin. Trick or treat. We might get tricked. Yeah, Nelson. Let's go. When in doubt, zoom in. Right. It does look better. I give you that. It does look better. Thank you, Sunshine. Just pump my Dogecoin, please. I'll donate money to the dog care. Hey, Lily, if those 3 things happen and Doge is still sideways, what does that mean? That means the markets are just apathetic, just like nothing. But those are 3 big things. We would see the markets go up. Now, for some reason, this hasn't stopped the stock market from hitting new all-time high, right? We just hit a new all-time high on the S&P 500. We just hit a new all-time high on NASDAQ. We just hit a new all-time high on the Dow Jones. That all happened today. So stock market doesn't care. The stocks just keep trading up. Now, a lot of this is inflation, right? But it just keeps going up. So for those that have big stock portfolios, it just keeps going up. It's quite the move. That's why I don't have purple boxes on the stock market, because it just keeps going up. Yeah, let's just get to 30 cents first. And then talk about 40 cents, and then talk about 50 cents. And $1, no. And there's other articles out there, Dogecoin to $1, and I'm just like, no, it's one step at a time. Dogecoin can surge 4 or 5 cents quickly. It can. Typically, we've been seeing these penny at a time things, right? When it gets moving, it's just been a penny at a time. And typically, when it went 2 cents, it then came back and retested 1 cent lower. So we saw that throughout September, penny at a time. And then we had the big leverage flush and all bets off the table then. So 2.5 weeks now of sideways trading. What comes first, Trevor asks? The all-time high or the bear market? That's a good question. That's a good question. A 3x from here gets Doge to 60 cents. A 4x is 80 cents. So it's like 3.5x. That's a big move. I'm not confident of that right now. I'm not confident of that. Uptober ended up not being Uptober. Hey, King Jano. Imagine if Dogecoin is the next Bitcoin. Well, it is in terms of transactions, payments. I've always said Dogecoin is what Bitcoin was meant to be. That's a Kriss quote. Dogecoin is what Bitcoin was meant to be. Bitcoin is now store of value, HODL, treasury, never selling because there's a hard cap, limited amount of coins, or Dogecoin isn't that. So if Elon does something that will boost Dogecoin this run, yes, Matt, absolutely. Good morning, Anthony. Eric, what about this chart tells you Doge just keeps going down? What about this chart says that? No. Sideways, dude. Sideways. For 2.5 weeks, it's gone sideways. It doesn't keep going down. This is not going down. It is sideways. And in fact, you can say from the dip on the 17th of October, right? For a week and a half, Dogecoin has been trending up. This was the upward trending support line that I drew earlier. So that's a week and a half of solid trading upwards. Dogecoin's not going down. All right. How did stocks behave before the last pump of 2021? Interesting. (2021). There was a dip in August to about the middle of October. Right there. The stock market dipped from end of August to the middle of October. And then it went on a run. Starting middle of October. It went on a run of like 10%, but it's the stock market, right? And then it entered bear. And then it entered bear. So there was a run there on the stock market after the early fall pullback in 2021. And then it went into the bear. Interesting. Good question. It's good to look at those things. But now what it's doing is just up, 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 up. Little sideways, little tariff dip, right? Earlier this year, we had the tariff dip into early April. And then since then, it's just been up, up, and new all-time high now. The more I watch Doge streams, I worry we're in a time-sensitive spot. It's just a wait and see, I think. Holding pattern, as I said. ETFs. I think ETFs will be good, William. What do I think about the American Bitcoin Corp? Yeah, American Bitcoin. I have this on my watch list on my stocks, ABTC. Traded up early this morning, about 6%. But that's just the stock price. It's a Trump associated thing. I wouldn't put a lot of money into it because it's a Trump associated thing. So, yeah. Maybe we get a massive surge. Will I be paying attention when it does? Watch the news. Keep hanging out with KrissPax here. What's all this talk about getting out of the box? We're stuck. Elon is starting to post about Dogecoin. I haven't seen Elon post anything about Dogecoin. Can I trade the box with leverage? Right. I'm going to do a leverage sideways trade. Can I do that? Right. Exactly, Nick. Dogecoin is the next Dogecoin. Exactly. Strictly for the nostalgic feel, will you do the old intro of Doge in the Rocket? Doge in the Rocket. Doge in the Rocket. I still have that somewhere. Oh, yeah. We'll just do it now. Let's go.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin has now almost overtaken
all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you have invested $1,000 a year, it has to
And there you go. For a little bit of nostalgia, right? There you go. Always a good one, right? Always a good one. Oh. What was that? I know, right? Megal is coming down into the buying zone. Yes. $1.38. It is. But zone at $1.14 is not moving up. I'm stuck. I'll take sideways over down any day. Stuck. Elon has abandoned us. No, SD says Elon replied, Dogecoin is energy. Dogecoin is energy. There was a reply. The Dogecoin is energy. I didn't see that. Sure looks like it. So crazy. Heart, self-driving Tesla. How long ago was this? Hard on the Let that sink in. People reveal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, the Sir Doge account was probably something Elon said a long time ago. So that was probably a quote from Elon from years ago. Not any time recently, okay? Knowing Sir Doge, that's what he would do. But I'll look for it and I'll check. You missed the YouTube notification, Charlotte? Yeah, sorry. It's like, what? YouTube is just, ugh. 2 days ago, SD? 2 days ago. Well, I got to scroll a bit. I missed it. That would have been Saturday? That would have been Saturday. Weird. True. Clown. Terrible. Now, this is important if he said something, because I missed it. October 26th, so this is Sunday now. I have to do it this way. I can't search. The search doesn't do it in chronological order. So I would get all the really old stuff. So, God, he posts a lot, doesn't he? Okay, here we are, October 25th now. We're on the right day. Made with Grok Imagine. No. Happy to help. Terrible. True. He reposted a Doge designer thing. Hold on just a second. Just a second. Grok Kids mode. Grok Companions. Hey, there's Mika. She speaks many languages. Great. Elon, you have more important things to do. You have more important things to do. Doge designer. XAI. Good Rudy. Poor Good Rudy. Nobody likes Good Rudy. unMineable. Terrible. Wow. More Mika. Oh, Elon's in love with Mika now. Ah, that's what it is. Elon is in love with Mika. Good overview. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. There's nothing here. Nothing on the Elon account. 20th of October. That's like a week ago now. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. I'll look for that later. I would tokenize that intro, but it's not mine. That's somebody else made that. I do not own that. It was like a week ago. Yeah, I might have talked about it already. We went over it. Thank you. I don't remember. I have so much going on. Yeah, we covered it. SD. It's all my fault. Where's the magnet? I like the uptrend after a massive downtrend narrative. Copium, but going up a little. It was a reply. Yeah, I was looking through replies there, but I'm not going back a week. I know. Elon making himself a companion harem. He got tired of Annie, so now it's all Mika. Annie was probably annoying him. It has nothing to do with ISO 20022, elegantly wasted. It has nothing to do with it. Nobody cares about that except developers. Crypto doesn't wait for that. Crypto trades on hype and news. It doesn't need that, in my opinion. Maybe Dogecoin is better without Elon just growing organically. It's been doing okay, but I mean, people just say, oh, it was 48 cents last December, which was on the backs of Elon and Doge and all of that. But since April at 13 cents, right? Dogecoin's been trading very well. Elon has linked Bitcoin's energy foundation to the world's accelerating artificial intelligence AI boom. Energy, not fiat money, is the ultimate store of value. Sounds like something Elon would say. I covered it October 13th. So 2 weeks ago. Okay. Good thing I didn't keep scrolling then, because that would have been way back there. That would have taken a long time. Is this trend line mean I'm optimistic? It's just pointing out that Dogecoin has been trading within this tight range, but since the 17th of October, it's kind of been upward trending. I'll leave it at that. Optimistic? No, because because like Killa XBT says, right? Just with Bitcoin. This whole movement is going to be controlled by the market makers. And we could come out of the box, back in, back out, and then we could hit the bottom of the box to close the CME gap. If that happens. Close the gap. So yeah. Whether people like it or not. Mika dresses better. She still has torn jeans. I mean, she's wearing like black jeans, but they're torn. It's like, Elon needs to act because I'm going broke. Giovi, you should not have investments in cryptocurrency. That's money that you need. You shouldn't be doing that. The box becomes a memory. I would like that. I would like us to trade out of the box and then I can just delete them and get rid of them. Like, it's old news. Let's go. How would crypto go up if there are so many people like in this channel who are so poised to sell their millions with just an uptick of 10 to 20%? If you get good enough news, people who are already waiting on the sidelines, right? Because there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines. Then they come in to offset any sales. That's what it is. Do I have a positive outlook on the rest of the cycle for Dogecoin? Matt, of course I do. You know I'm optimistic. We just have to get through all of this crap going on now with the government shutdown and more tariff crap and, right? Hey, Daniel, where or which East Coast state is the best or good one to move to and collect retirement money? Not Massachusetts. Not Massachusetts. Florida is probably the best because no taxes in Florida. Massachusetts, Taxachusetts. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in Massachusetts with big taxes. This is not the place to be. But it's where I live. It's where my friends are, where my family is. We're all here, so I just deal with it. I deal with it. Davin found the screenshot. Thank you, Davin. Appreciate it. So much happened. 2 weeks. I don't remember. I cover so much. I'm just like, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Let me see. Is it community? Newest? Davin? Oh, I thought you were posting the Elon thing. You posted this, which is cool. That's from the video. I like that. I thought you were posting the Elon thing. That's what we were talking about. But it's all good. All good. I'm convinced most of your audience are bots. It's the same people. Jabroni. Dude, we're just hanging out together. Talking Dogecoin and life. Bots. Hey, Leno chat, how are you? Elon needs to come out from his hideout and say Dogecoin will be integrated. Christian. How can newbies invest in crypto if they would see such cryptos like dogs and cats, penguins? How would you people? Anthony, you answered your own question. I don't even have to reply. My couch is comfy. It's the same with taxes in California. I deal with it, but I also have a really good job that helps. Me too. I deal with it, pay my taxes. But yeah, if someone's moving to the East Coast, don't move to Massachusetts. Definitely not New York City. If they're gonna vote in that Mamdani guy for mayor, you don't want to be in New York City. The Doge fear and greed. What is the Doge fear and greed? Let's see. Dogecoin, fear and greed. It's probably in the middle, neutral. Would be my guess. Yep, there we go. Neutral, 50. Right on the nose. 50. I mean, how blah is that, right? Right, Yili? It's 50. Purple box, trading sideways, crab market, fear and greed is 50. Neutral. Absolutely nothing. That's how boring it is. 50. If you want to watch the video again, you can just scroll back, watch it again. Click the picture. I have to click the picture? What does that do? Ah, Sir Doge of the coin. Oh, Elon gave it the 100. Thank you. Got it. Oh, so Sir Doge of the coin did a still from the video that I just played. Dogecoin is also based on energy. Elon gave it the 100. Got it. Got it. Yes, we did cover that. Thank you, Ron. For those wondering, it's in the YouTube community, the KrissPax YouTube community. You can see this. If you go to the YouTube app, you go to my channel, the KrissPax channel, and you click on the YouTube community tab there. Got to click on it. Yeah, thank you. Let's just repost Elon's posts. Happy Monday. Hawaii's the same. Taxes, schmaxes. That could explain why the crypto market cap is very limited upside. Hey, it can go crazy. You never know. Money can come in. But you love Hawaii. And you're not a bot. Anthony's not a bot. MB is not a bot. All right, good to know. We're not bots. Meanwhile, a bot goes, I'm not a bot. Bought all the 18 cents and 19 cents. Chaos, so you're up. We're 20 cents. We're up. Well, Leno Chad, we'll see. I still think something's going to happen with X and X money, X payments. It's just not happening soon enough for everybody. Not happening soon enough. Do you pay any taxes if you live in the metaverse? Nobody can impersonate Ryan because we don't know you. You're mysterious. You're so mysterious. I'm still looking like a pasta salad. Stucked we are. Yes, Sunshine. Stucked. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. Weeks. I eat robots. When will the magic 8-ball make an appearance? I don't know, Denise. Soon as a good enough question comes along to ask the magic 8-ball. The bull run is getting started. Well, here we go. A week and a half of an uptrend. It's a start. I feel Doge is in a good position during these times, just waiting on crypto in general, following Bitcoin. Yeah. Maramello, hi, how are you? I came on normal time today. Don't get paranoid. Now, Doge bots, I ain't pointing fingers. Do something, Bitcoin. Do something. Hi, King Eli. We were expecting a pump on October 20th. It didn't work. October, not happening. So then we flip it over to Moonvember. On Saturday, I will be making a video. My Moonvember price prediction. Shall we try 36 cents again? 35 cents? Shall we try that again? Jabroni is acting like a jabroni. Yeely just hit the like button, number 69. Smash the likes, everybody. Too many bots. I'm still like 90% chance that X money starts. I'm like 90%. I'm still there. We got 2 more months. Both Linda Yaccarino and Elon both said 2025, and we know that it's in beta testing. Brian, mysterious? What? What? Seems like Groundhog Day, exactly. And here we are, still churning. That's why I made these boxes, to define how it was trading, and it's just extended out. $2 is possible? Possible. Unlikely at this point, at least this cycle. I mean, let's get to 50 cents first, previous all-time high, and then $1, and then maybe we can start talking about $2. It would be awesome if crypto went into a permanent bull market. You mean like the stock market? How about that stock market? S&P 500, new all-time high. It just keeps going up, 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 up. You mean like that? Let's do that, right? Why couldn't crypto do that? My 401k, thanks you very much, because it's all in Russell 2000 and Vanguard. It just keeps going up. 90%. I know, Anthony. I know how you feel, but I'm not there. Chadwick, it's not about you. I told you it doesn't work here. That doesn't work on this channel, the I told you thing. And I have said many times, maybe 48 cents was the high for this cycle. It's going to be hard to get back up there. I don't disagree with that, but the I told you so's don't work here. And now you're saying shit like that, which gets me upset, which then, come on. You want to engage here? You want to have a conversation about what's going on, why you feel that way, or you want to laugh at everybody? If you laugh at everybody, I boot you and you will be gone. So, thank you. All right. Nice to have you back, Chadwick. Let's be real. Anthony here is your friend. He agrees too. It's going down. I don't mind. I don't mind when you say that you think it's bearish and it's going to go down. Just don't say stupid things. And we can be all right. You don't like Kriss when he's angry. Exactly. And I got a lot of shit going on right now. And it's just like, I have a very, very quick boot finger. I'm quick on the boot right now. Tom Lee is right. The S&P is still going much higher. Yep. The stock market just keeps rolling along. That's pretty wild. I hope the government opens back up soon. People on Snap aren't getting their money. Yeah, and not only that, when they do get it back again, they're limiting the kinds of foods, which they should have done a long time ago. I mean, you shouldn't be using Snap for all the sugary sweet stuff, right? It should be healthy food is what you should be getting. And to see these pictures online of these 300 and 400 pound people, right, complaining about not getting their benefits. It's like, wait, you weigh over 300 pounds. Like, what kind of crap are you buying off the government? No, doesn't work that way. You got to do something to get the money, right? I'm not saying get rid of it all, right? But you got to do something to get the money, and it should be healthy food. That's what I say about Snap. I don't mind the government helping people out, but just not giving away crap. So heavy people need to eat too, right? But what are they eating? It should be healthy food, not a bunch of Doritos and soda pops. No. But that's just me. Thank you, Sunshine. Who, me? Dogecoin. Hi, all. The Kriss Springer Show. Das Boot. Oh, it's just me, Chadwick. It's just me. Just got a lot of shit going on. Don't have time for this shit. Don't cross my Doritos. Well, Con, if Ethereum goes to 10K, Doge is easily 40 cents. Easily 40 cents if ETH goes to 10K. Bestia says, no way 48 cents was the high. We're going higher. That's why we're just being patient here. Sideways crab market being patient. I'm not a bear. I'm not a bull. I'm a crab. I'm a crab. We're going sideways. The 4 years have been rough, waiting to cash out. A lot of people are just like you, Rodrigo. We've been following the history. We've been following all of this. Hi, Elistine. How are you? Still here, holding. Nice to hear. Good to see you. If the other coins are pumping hard, Doge will go with it, Con. I've never seen other cryptos pumping and Doge isn't. If the whole rest of the altcoin market is going up, Doge will go up too, and will generally go up higher than most other alts. That's how Dogecoin trades. We saw that last November, December. So, the EBT whales. Agreed. It's up to the Dems. All they need is 5. You've got Fetterman. You just need 5 more to cross over. I don't know when the next vote is. Yeah, we were looking at Zek Amine. Zek is not in a purple box. Not in a purple box. Boom. A boom. A boom. And in fact, on October 10th, there was a bit of a move down, and then it just went right back up. If there was a box for Zek, it would have been this. Let's see what that percentage is here. Oh, wouldn't even have been that. So yeah, it just totally blew out the box. Zek did. And then, as we showed at the beginning of the live stream today, it was Trump, the Trump token, traded up to $8, and it's just been steadily selling off, going down. So if you ever wanted to take profit on your Trump token, 12 o'clock noon, what's the time to do it? It's coming back down. Meanwhile, Dogecoin is stuck. EBT coin in the Snap token. Let's make it crypto. Snap has banned the purchase of some items. Yes, the sodas are now off the list, but they need to ban more, in my opinion. Can the government shutdown go on forever? That's a great question. Does the president have emergency powers? Ooh, that's a grok question. Can the U.S. government shutdown go on forever? Good question. No, a U.S. government shutdown cannot go on forever. Here's why. U.S. Constitution requires congressional appropriations before money can be spent from the Treasury. Without a budget or continuing resolution, non-essential operations stop. Okay. So far, we're doing all right, right? We don't need that. We don't need that. Essential services continue, funded by permanent appropriations are deemed necessary for protection, okay? Economic reasons, economic damage. The 2018-2019 shutdown of 35 days cost the government $11 billion. Yeah, we looked at this before. I'm like, so? Not really. Because the furloughed workers, they all ended up getting paid when they went back. Back pay is guaranteed. Markets react. Prolonged shutdowns risk credit downgrades. Yep. Could it drag on indefinitely? Theoretically, if Congress refuses to pass any funding bills, non-essential functions stay closed. Realistically, this is impossible. You've got the elections, the midterms, public revolt. The president can't unilaterally end it without Congress. Debt ceiling, physical cliffs create hard deadlines. A shutdown is a temporary tactic, not permanent. The longest was 5 weeks. Political survival, economic pain, legal obligations always force the resolution. Forever? No. Well, this time may challenge it. Good question, though. Anthony, that was a good question. $10,000 ETH is going to be tough. I agree. 140,000 Bitcoin. But this guy says 190 is in the books. Where was he? Right here. 190. Right? So we still have all of these charts going on. 190. Khan thinks ETH is going up that high. There's a lot of people have predicted 10. You know what my prediction is? 6666. That's my prediction. ETH to 6666. Dogecoin up 300% in November. That would be sweet. 60-cent Dogecoin. Let's do it. If ETH goes to 10K, then $1 Doge easy. No, because that would just a little more than double the ETH price. So again, that would be more like a 60-cent Doge. Would be more realistic there. Unless you get some specific news that's good for Doge. But if it's just ETH going to 10K, maybe not. ETH pumped 250% from April. Other coins didn't replicate same performance. Yeah, it's just the way our wonderful system works. The president doesn't deal with the money. Congress does. It's just the way it's set up. To the moon. ETH can do a 2x from previous all-time high. Sure. I don't think so this cycle, though. Not now. October didn't happen. We're just floundering. I'm not expecting it. The Melania token went up today. 30%. Oh, God. That's how crazy the world is, right? The crypto world. You get stuff like that going on. The calm before the storm. Be ready. Be ready. Grok time. Grok is great for questions like that. That's what I use Grok for, is that I don't need a companion to go on and asking me how my day was, or no. Just go to Grok, ask the question, get the answer. I got time for companions. Companions. The reps must back down. Why would the Republicans need to back down? They've basically put forward a bill as a continuing resolution that keeps things the same. It just keeps things the same. There's nothing to back down to. It's a continuing resolution to keep the government funded like it has been. They're not throwing a whole bunch of new stuff in there. It's the Democrats that want to change the healthcare system through a continuing resolution. They need to back down. Doge to 50 to 70. That's about the range. Agreed. I'm right in the middle, like 60 cents, Gene, right now. ETH pumping does guarantee a Doge pump. It has never happened where ETH pumps and Doge is flat. It's never happened. You can tell a lot about a person if they were rooting for the coyote in the Roadrunner cartoon. That poor coyote never wins. The release of the Doge mini games will be big. And we're waiting for that too. House of Doge, big impact. Not big yet. It's kind of B level, I call it. House of Doge, kind of B level. So we're waiting. We're waiting. When is the next vote? When is the next U.S. Congress CR vote? Let's see. October 28th. It's tomorrow. October 27th, Senate Majority Leader John Thune stated that the Senate would hold its 13th vote on the CR later this week, specifically Tuesday, October 28th. So tomorrow, sunshine. Can you believe I'm 5,000 down on Zone? Yeah, I'm down 2,000, Christian. I'm down 2,000 on Zone. Time to buy Zone. Lol. Ugh. Just waiting. $1.13 after market. Week. How much is ETH right now? 4,100. Could have got it down here at 3,700 last Wednesday. That was a nice dip. It's like a triple. We had like a triple dip here on ETH. Right at this level. And some are saying on Thursday, we're going to have a big dip in the market. Big dip on Thursday. Right. That whole thing about the healthcare thing, just not happening. You rooted for the coyote. Who roots for the coyote? Me. Doge to 19 cents here in the real world. Looks like we could be there tonight. Doge is looking pretty weak right now. If we retest this orange line, we'll be at about 19.9. So we could see that tonight. The coyote was basically an attempted murder. Ugh. But that was a great cartoon. Now it'd be considered too violent. We can't have kids watching that. Too violent. They both think this will help their side in the midterms. Yeah, it's politics, exactly. But when the SNAP recipients aren't getting their SNAP, right, next week, they'll start to turn on the Democrats, and it will look bad for the Democrat politicians. It will look bad. Meet me. Has anybody seen Annie in the ghost form floating across the ceiling? That would be scary. Yeah, Christian, there's a Litecoin, there's a Hedera, and a Solana that appears to be going live tomorrow. I don't know how they did it without the SEC final review, but apparently the exchanges are set up for these Canary-hosted ETFs. I don't know how they did it, but it's Litecoin, Hedera, and Solana. Yeah. There's Roadrunners in Arizona. Roadrunners. Wow. Do I want to see a Roadrunner? It probably doesn't look as cute as the one in the cartoon. Probably not as cute. Road Runner cartoon versus reality. These are important things. Here we go. There you go. It actually does kind of look cute. A little bit. A little bit. Meep, meep. How many times did the coyote actually die? I wonder if there's a count, right? Yeah, they don't look too bad. I thought they were more kind of grungy looking, but yeah, not bad. Not bad. A coyote and a roadrunner caught in one picture. That's awesome. These are the important things in life. The coyote never died? Well, I guess not, right? Because, I mean, you fall 200 feet off a cliff, right? And then magically you just get up and live another day, right? So technically, you're right, right? It never really died. Joshua, how are you? Stopping in to say hi, back to work. Okay, well, here's a shout out when you are watching the full stream later. Shall we in the chat get together and launch a Doge NFT? I hear it's all the rage. Once Doge OS is out, once Doge OS launches, there will be a lot of opportunities to do stuff like that. Yes, they're going to have a whole platform for that kind of thing. And you'll be able to hold them right in your MyDoge wallet. So yes, that is coming. From Reuters, Canary Capital forging ahead. Yep. I don't know how they're doing it, Anthony. Without the SEC, how is Canary doing that? If you didn't sell, when did you buy your house? How would you be feeling right now? I'd be sick to my stomach right now, Matt. Waiting and waiting and waiting. I'd be nervous. I'd be way down. My portfolio would be down like $1 million. Not a good feeling. And I would have just had to redo the rent on the house that I was renting. That would have been painful to sign an extension of my lease on the house I was renting. I was like, that wasn't in the plan. So yeah, I'm feeling fine about what I did. But Matt, thanks. It's a good question. And I know you've got a plan for your crypto profits, and I hope the price of all your cryptos goes up and you can sell for a nice, decent profit. Yes, the Acme magic, of course. Acme. Catalyst to help Doge price. Well, at this point, Doge OS launching is going to be good utility, right? The House of Doge and their partnerships. And we're seeing what they're doing, B-level, football club, hockey team, just not, yeah. We wanted to see such pay and this big payment thing, and that's not happening yet. Maybe it's just Elon again with Tesla or X-Twitter or something. Maybe it comes down to that. Otherwise, Doge is just going to follow the market. And the market right now isn't great. It's in crab mode. That's one that you're stacking is HBAR. HBAR actually had a little bit of a pump today. You don't see it much, still in the box, but HBAR had a little pump. Litecoin had a little pump. when the news came out about the ETFs. But again, it's just a little pump, nothing major. Hey, Tats, how are you? Joshua is smoking wings tonight. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. I don't know when Doge OS is going to launch. They haven't announced it yet. They're still in testnet. So they haven't come up with a date yet. I've got crypto brain. Charlotte bought some more HBAR as well. We'll see if HBAR catches Doge. HBAR is at 18 cents. Doge is at 20 cents. Will HBAR catch Dogecoin? I'll be watching. I would love the Coyote's indestructible ball for the next bear market. How does he do it? How does he do it? We are meme no more. Doge is still a meme. It's based on a meme. It'll still be seen as a meme coin. The Coyote was genius at product placement. HBAR to the moon. I do not own any more HBAR. I sold all my HBAR back in January. Will stablecoins undermine Doge payments? Yes, John. The reality is yes. That's what all of this genius bill has all been about, is stablecoins. But Doge payments was never going to take over the world, in my opinion. It was never going to do that. It's kind of a side thing, fun thing, much easier to use. But stablecoins, but yeah, they're here. They're kind of here to stay, unfortunately. Nobody moved fast enough on Dogecoin adoption to make it a bigger thing before all of this stablecoin talk came up. So yeah. Doge OS is stuck. Yes. Smart Charlotte. She knows what's going to happen. Yeah. What is a good goal for how much Dogecoin one should collect? It's different for everybody, Master, because of your financial position. So some people, 10,000 Doge is enough. Some is 100,000. Some need to have 1 million. Everyone's at a different level financially in how much you're willing to risk in the crypto market. So yes, unfortunately, Sunshine. Again, I try and keep things real here, and that is the reality of what we have right now. Will, regardless, be a meme. But a cool meme, yes. No HBAR here yet. I get it, right? No dry powder, so can't be buying. Issuers strategically included provisions that are amended S1 filings enabling automatic effectiveness 20 days post-filing. This ensures a seamless transition without manual SEC approval. Huh. So they just basically stuck it in there and say, if you don't say no, then we're good to trade. Huh. Well, that was pretty smart. I saw people test trade with ChatGPT and their win ratio was 2 out of 42. Yes, I saw that too. So do the opposite of what ChatGPT says, Wujek. Exactly. I thought the same thing then, right? It's like, yeah, if they're only winning 2 out of 42 trades, then you do the opposite. Right. No, that's Anthony who only has 33 Doge. Anthony, 33 Doge. I'll give you 33 more to mow my yard. In the back of my mind, I just keep thinking Don Jr. bought all those coin mining machines. Yeah, that deal hasn't gone through yet because that Dogecoin mining company, Doge Hash, and they must have a letter of agreement or something, but the deal hasn't gone through. So it's not part of thumbs up yet, but it will be. I need 10,000, but can only afford 100. Yeah. Well, I want 100 Bitcoin, but I can only afford one. It's all relative, right? All relative. I know, right, Ryan? It's like, what? What? Hey, you do what you got to do, right? You do what you got to do. That's why I go opposite to Kriss each day. I know. And then I went totally neutral the other day and you didn't know what to do. And that's today too. Totally neutral, holding pattern. So what do? You can't go opposite because we're just crab market sideways. That's the way it is. Now, if tomorrow I make a video, Dogecoin to the moon, $1 guaranteed, right? I'll get a ton more views, but I'd be lying to you. Right? I'd be totally lying. I can't do that. So I just hang out with you guys and keep it real. If you don't like that and you just want to hear somebody saying the things you want to hear as opposed to keeping it real, you can go find them. They're out there, right? But I know, getting smart, right, Anthony? Today, I just couldn't come up with something. It's just like, nope, can't do it. I tried to this morning because the charts were actually kind of looking a little bullish this morning. So, this morning, I don't know. Did you see my video this morning? Dogecoin getting ready to run, right? Dogecoin getting ready to run. That is bullish, right? And the one before is when Dogecoin rocket, right? Bullish. But yeah, we're in a holding pattern. It's tough to keep this up every day. It's tough. So we just hang out here and we talk about like roadrunners and coyotes and food and stuff, because there's just not a lot else. I'm targeting you. Oh, Anthony, yes. That's the first thing I think of when it's time to do a new video is what is Anthony going to think about this? Oh my gosh. So I just make all bearish video titles, right? Hey, when I'm bearish, I'm bearish, and I let you know. But now I'm not bearish. I'm not bearish right now. I'm not. The Senate is voting again. Grok says it's tomorrow. Tuesday, October 28th. Is Grok wrong? Is Grok wrong? Don't be confused, Matt. Don't be confused. Senate CR funding vote. Bum, 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 bum. Latest. Doesn't really say. Yeah, I don't see it. WWDD. What would Doge do? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't see it yawning. I think it's tomorrow. A conviction, Matt, is different than a feeling, right? A conviction is like much more solid. I don't got that. That's all. It's not a big deal. I cannot foresee the future. I appreciate the view, though. PBS is live. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on the CR. They could be meeting about something else. There's a lot of backlog of stuff. They still need to approve a lot of like judges and other things, and there's other stuff they need to do as well. So it could be something like that. All right, gang, that's what we've got. Hey, it's a crap market, but I'm going to keep this orange line on here and see whether we bounce off it tonight or not. And then we will see whether we get this kind of move here. Up tonight, down Tuesday, up Wednesday, down Thursday. And we're going to see whether that pattern comes through. So that's where we are. Always hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Appreciate the support. And see where we are tomorrow. So I hope everyone has a good evening. Bye.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.